Hello everyone, this is Snowbird Bob back again with you today. Today is Monday, March the 15th, 2021, and we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the temperatures across the nation, and we're going to talk about the potential of, again, a multi-day severe weather threat, and Wednesday is really looking like it could be some pretty bad weather across the central, southern, and southeastern part of the United States, where the SPC has already issued a enhanced risk for parts of the area, and that could be upgraded to a moderate risk. So we could be looking at severe weather and a tornado outbreak, unfortunately. But first of all, I appreciate you tuning in to the channel today. If you hadn't already subscribed and you like to see, all the weather predictions out for, say, 7 to 14 days, you could subscribe and like the video. I really appreciate that. I'm approaching 1,000 subscribers now, and that's really fast, and I really appreciate that. I hadn't been able to do a video in a couple days, but I'm back at it now, so let's get started. First off, we're going to take a look at the temperatures over the next several days. Well, actually, we'll take a look at it all the way out to next week. Looks like, in fact, after the severe weather and all this, bad weather comes through, that we could be cooling off a good bit, especially into the central and eastern and northeastern part of the United States. We'll take a look at now. You can see that today that pretty much everybody is up in the 60s and 70s, and then you got some cold weather across the north. Of course, we still got that very cold air across Colorado and Wyoming, where it dropped anywhere from 2 feet of snow in Denver to as much as 3, 4, almost 5 feet of snow in some of the higher elevations of the foothills of the Rocky Mountains here in Colorado and up into Wyoming here. And then some pretty good snowfall going on last night and during the day today across central northern Iowa and southern Minnesota as well today. So some pretty good snowfall out there for them folks. We'll take a look at temperatures. And what I want to do over the next couple of days, you can see that it's going to be pretty warm. Especially we take it into Wednesday, you can see that a lot of the area where the severe weather is going to be, we got some good Gulf moisture going to be pumping in up into the southern United States here, up into the 60s and 70s. And then we're going to have a strong low pressure system. You can see out here across Oklahoma where that's spinning up, and it's really going to be tapping the moisture and instability. It's going to be coming into Louisiana and Arkansas, southern Missouri, all the way out into the East Coast here. And we'll get into that when I start talking about temperatures. But as we get into this weekend, you can see that cool air really starting to making its way push into the southern part of the United States, and also big time up into the Northeast and Ohio Valley, where we could see some temperatures well down to the teens and 20s across that area. And then we take it out a little further, you can see that we warm back up a little bit. But again, it looks like we got another storm system going to be coming into the area as we get into early next week, and that could be producing some more severe weather parts of the central and southern parts of the United States. And then we take out a little further. This is real long range, but in the real long range, we take it out to day 10, day 11. This is day 13. You can see that it looks like that we could be seeing some cold air way out there into that long range. But however, that is long range, and it has been showing the potential for some really cold air for this time of the year in the past 7 or 8 days. And you know how that turned out. It didn't really turn out too good out there. So a lot can change in the long range, and I will keep you updated on the very latest on that. So we could see the potential for some much colder air out in that 11 to 16 day time frame, but I will keep you updated on the latest on that. Next, we're going to take it out to the surface analysis. It looks like right now this is what's going on. We got some severe weather going on in parts of Kansas up into central Missouri, and then we got some snow flying across portions of northeastern Iowa into southeastern Minnesota, up into northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin today. And also, as we take it over, we're going to go ahead and take it out into that Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. You can see as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday, this is where we got that strong low pressure system is going to be bringing in all that severe weather across portions of eastern Texas into Louisiana, into Arkansas, into Missouri, and eventually into big time into Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, Tennessee, and maybe even Kentucky. We've got a 996 millibar low pressure system located right over northern Oklahoma into southern Kansas. And as this pulls off to the northeast, it's really going to bring some severe weather for a lot of folks out there. And this could be a little bit of snow on the north and northwest side as we get up into northern Missouri, into southern Iowa, and maybe into Wisconsin as we get into Thursday. We'll go ahead and take it out a little longer. Looks like we get a lull in the action. There will be a little bit of snow across the northeast there, across parts of Boston, Massachusetts area, maybe southern New England there. Could see a little snowfall. Don't look like much of a big deal as we get into the weekend. Then we kind of, like I said, we get a break in the action as we head into next weekend. And then here we go again, early next week. A big low pressure system located over the central part of the United States. This could bring some severe weather to Texas, Oklahoma, maybe even Louisiana, Arkansas, and the Missouri area again as we get into next week. So even it looks like that, we stuck into a very active weather pattern. And then if you take it out real long range, which I know we can't really, count on anything that far out, but then we got, another low pressure system moving across, and then there's another one on around the 28th of this month that could bring severe weather. We'll take it all the way out into the long range. This is where we get out that 16-day time frame. This is where it's trying to bring in that real cold air. It's got almost a 1040 high moving in from Canada all the way down into the United States here. And if that was to take place, we could really see some cold air and more snow potential across the central northern plains, the Ohio Valley, and the northeastern part of the United States. And what I want to do now, we'll take a look at this is the K-index. We'll take a look out of the next couple days, and this is really big time. Blow it showing up here across portions of northern Louisiana, into eastern Texas, into Arkansas, especially into Arkansas, Mississippi, southern Missouri, and Alabama. We could see some strong supercells with large hail, high wind gusts, and the potential for some strong tornadoes out there. So the potential energy is going to be there. All the parameters are coming together for a big time severe weather event over the next few days, unfortunately, out there. And what I want to do now, before we get over into a look at before I look into the, we're going to take a look at the total precipitation. You're talking about a lot of precipitation. Look at this. Over the next 10 days, we got a lot of precipitation, especially across the central United States, into the southern United States, out toward Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, all the way into Virginia, Kentucky, up in the Ohio Valley here. We're looking at a widespread 2 to 4 inch rainfall, and could see some isolated higher amounts, maybe up to 6 to 8 inches under some of these bigger thunderstorms. And a lot of this is going to happen over the next 4 or 5 days. We back it up here. This only takes us out to Saturday and Sunday, and this is going to be associated with that severe weather risk over, we got some happening today, and then a bigger threat as we head into Tuesday, and a much bigger threat as we head into Wednesday, and that could last into Wednesday night. And that's what I want to get started on now, is the severe weather potential out there right now. This is actually the current radar. This is showing that we can zoom in here around the Kansas City area. We got, I believe we got a tornado warning out for just to the south of the Kansas City area, and then a PDS. This is put out by the SPC. This is actually not a PDS. This is a mesoscale discussion talking about the potential severe weather around Columbia, Missouri, Kansas City, down just north of Springfield, Missouri. This is today. So I can bring it out a little bit and show you here that we do have some potential severe weather as we get down toward Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama. You can see here is on our marginal risk in this dark green area. Marginal risk of severe weather up in the central Missouri here. Let me take the radar off here, and we can take a look at the actual, if I can blow this up here. I'm sorry about this. I'm making another mistake here. I'm actually want to take a look at that severe weather risk as we get into tomorrow. You see, we go in the day tomorrow. There's actually a marginal risk that that picture's yeah, okay, it wasn't showing up for me. Okay, the marginal risk goes all the way out into Georgia, into central Mississippi and Alabama, into northern Louisiana, into Arkansas. And look, we got a slight risk tomorrow into Texas, south central Texas, up into Oklahoma, northern Oklahoma, and southern Kansas here. So that's a big time, a big area of a risk factor out there. We go to day 3. And this is where it could get very serious out there, unfortunately. I want to take the mesoscale discussion off there, clean it up a little bit. But this, unfortunately, could get bad here. Reading a lot of what the experts are saying, and even what I've been looking at through my experience, we get down to Little Rock and Hot Springs. This could be expanded a little bit, the enhanced risk, this orange area. I think it'd be expanded a little bit all the way up into southern Missouri, more into Arkansas, into Louisiana, maybe into further Georgia and up into Tennessee a little bit more. But even in this slight risk there, you could see some damaging wind gusts, large hail, and possibly several significant, strong tornadoes, unfortunately, in this area right here. And I just want to take a look real quick what they're actually saying about this. The National Weather Service, this is the Storm Prediction Center, as we get into that Wednesday time frame. It says there is a, let me move this over a little bit right below my picture there. It says there is an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms from the eastern half of Arkansas and to portions of the adjacent states to the Alabama vicinity. It said a broad area of severe weather potential, including the risk of large hail, damaging winds, and several tornadoes is anticipated Wednesday from Arkansas, Louisiana vicinity eastward across the central Gulf Coast states and southern Appalachian. It said a vigorous upper low moving across central portions of the United States will once again be the primary upper feature of the interest as it tracks from Texas, Oklahoma, Panhandle vicinity early to southern Missouri through the end of the period. Ahead of this system, moderately strong, I can't say that word, flow will spread across the lower Mississippi Valley, Tennessee valleys, and the central Gulf Coast states with time. At the surface, a low forecast to cross Oklahoma during the day and then should cross the Ozarks through the evening and eventually reach an Illinois vicinity by 18Z or 12Z the afternoon. Widespread thunderstorms and substantial severe weather risk can be anticipated with this system right here. So this is going to not only go into the daytime Wednesday in this area right here, we could go into the nighttime, and that's the worst case scenario when we're dealing with strong thunderstorms and tornadoes at nighttime, especially as we get into Mississippi and Alabama into southern Tennessee. We could see some nighttime tornadoes for areas like Birmingham, Montgomery, Meridian, Jackson, Hattiesburg, up to Tupelo, Mississippi, around even possibly Memphis, Tennessee, and maybe even as far north as maybe southern Tennessee right here. So this is going to be a pretty bad, I believe it's going to be a pretty bad event there. And we take it out a little bit further. If you look at it if we take it out to day 5, this is going to be, let's see if it'll blow it up here. I'm sorry, not day 5. We take it out to day 4. This is for Thursday. Actually, the severe weather risk, they hadn't issued a categorical risk yet for Thursday, but we could see some severe thunderstorms all the way down into northern Florida, into Georgia, into South Carolina, North Carolina, all the way up into southern Virginia. They could issue a risk on that as well. I think the severe weather threat will be less as if we move east toward the East Coast and northern Florida as we get into that Thursday time frame, but I still couldn't rule out some severe weather as we get there. But anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in today, and I will keep y'all updated on the very latest, everybody. If you hadn't already subscribed to my channel, I really appreciate it if you do, and I'll try to keep y'all informed on any kind of major weather events, any kind of cold air or anything out for the next 7, 10, 15 days out. Sometimes I may even go a little further than that, looking at the long-range teleconnections like the MJO, the NAO, the PNA-AO, and things like that. And we're looking at, tropical weather, droughts or any kind of major cold or winter storms, ice storms, or anything of that nature out there. Anyway, y'all be careful. I'll try to make another video tomorrow, and especially another video on Wednesday, to really try to keep y'all ahead of the storm system out there, because it looks like that that Tuesday night and the Wednesday night could be pretty significant out there, everybody. But anyway, I'll let y'all get out of here today, and I will talk to y'all shortly. And y'all have a great day, everyone.